Good evening, good evening, good evening. A very warm welcome to you wherever you may be. Welcome to another enthralling edition of the Football Fan Zone. I think it's about episode 8. Craig Filer, my co-host, my eternal co-host. How are you, my friend? How's things?
Very good, Tonci. Very good. Good evening, listeners. Hope everybody's well and everybody's had a good weekend. And I hope you're all really excited about the news that we've had today from the government. I'm sure everybody's thrilled to have to wear masks for the next 12 months of our life.
Well, look on the bright side. There is going to be a whole heap of soccer scarves, football scarves. I stand corrected. Football scarves coming out, and geez, haven't we got the weather for it? But you'll see all the Leeds United fans all decked out in their Leeds ones.
Yeah, or Mark Sultana starts coming through with comments because he'll be on in a minute. I think he's come out of the closet after 16 years.
He's come out of the closet, has he? Okay, right. What's his wife going to say about that? Anyway, mate, we've got a brilliant show tonight. A little bit different, a little bit left of centre, so to speak, because we're going to have a guest. We're actually going to have a guest. Mind you, it's not any sort of a guest. Craig, do you want to tell us a little bit about this special international guest?
Yeah, look, it's something that popped up on my Facebook feed this week from a player that I know very well. In fact, I coached him when he was 12, 13. And noticed on a number of Facebook pages this week that he's had a fantastic season in League Two in the UK with Cheltenham Town. So much so that he's walked away with 3 awards, Tonci, in his first full season at the club. So he had, I think, the Players' Player of the Year, the Player of the Year, and Supporters award. So I've got in touch with Ryan, and he's agreed to come on this morning and just talk a little bit about his journey through the footballing world in South Wales and into the southwest of England, and where he is today playing professional football in League Two.
Fantastic. No, it's a really, really good feel-good story, this one, because apparently, when you're telling me he was basically rejected at the age of 12.
Yep.
And he's really obviously fought against that. Now imagine an 11-year-old, 12-year-old being told you're not good enough by a professional club, probably the club that you've always followed or wanted to ever play for. And it happens all the time, Craig. Doesn't it happen a lot of the time here in Australia, here in Victoria, where, kids get to NPL level and they're told they're not good enough. They're not good enough.
Yeah, and it happens more so in Europe, where of course there's more professional teams and I suppose more opportunities for kids. But having been through that process myself, I know how very difficult it is to sit down and tell a young 9-year-old kid and their parents that their son's not at the right level for what the club's looking for, and it's very tough. So when you have that broken to you, it opens a can of worms, and I suppose that whole mindset thing that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it'll be really good insight into how Ryan felt about being released from Cardiff at a young age. It's his boyhood club. Then to obviously get picked up and join another professional club, albeit in their development phase, having to work really hard in there, and then obviously got his break and is now scoring goals and picking up awards as a professional football player day in, day out. So it's a good news story, I suppose, Tonci.
Look forward to that. So he'll be coming on in around about 10, 15 minutes. So don't go away. So make sure you hang around. It's going to be very, very interesting. Now, mate, we're also going to have a little bit of a quiz a little later on. So this is the plan of attack, folks. So around about 7:15, we've got a bit of news, by the way, to get through. So we'll get through that a little bit. Around about 7:15, Ryan's going to be coming on. Ryan Broom is his name. Yep, he'll be coming on, and he'll be a really interesting chat to him. Got a little bit of footage of him plying his trade. So the youngster, can't wait for that story, actually, by the way. Around about 7:30, we may take a talkback caller. So that number, Craig, what's that number again?
0497 151 234.
0497 151 234. We'll repeat that, 0497 151 234. should know by now, off by heart by now. But if there we go. Just as we're talking, the talkback lines are now open. Text us on 0497 151 234, and we'll take one or two callers, and then we'll get into your baby. This is your baby, Craig, and we're not talking about Filer's 5 second of funnies or whatever it was on Thursday that made its long-awaited debut. By the way, it was a good joke. If you have no idea what we're talking about, make sure you catch the replay of last Thursday's Football Out West show. But tell us about your little baby. And who have we got on? Have we got some contestants?
Yeah, we have. Look, we've been talking about this for probably 3 or 4 weeks now about how we make things different on a Sunday evening. We put a poll out there which is still going to see whether we, the listeners want us to continue on a Thursday and a Sunday evening. We wanted to continue, so we put a little poll at it. But we've been asking for a couple of weeks now about how we can make it different on a Sunday evening. Obviously, there's no, the idea originally was that we were going to be talking about all the games from the weekend, but unfortunately, we haven't got any games. So we have to think outside the box a little bit, and so we've come up with a quiz that we're going to run on a Sunday evening from about 7:45, and each week we're hoping to have 2 guests that come on who will pit their wits against either yourself or myself. And tonight we've got 2 guests that are going to come on. One's going to come on screen, and the other one's going to be live on the phone line. So
okay, who's going to be on the screen?
On the screen, we've got he's a well-known a football fanatic, I think you would call him, from the Melbourne district, and many of you will know him. He's quite active on the Optus Sports Quiz, Tonci, so I think you're in for a bit of a subject tonight, mate. So
I'm stuck.
His name is Michael Ong. So Michael's going to be coming on the show.
Yep.
And along with a lad from Geelong who we've had on many of occasions on the show. He's a bit of a celebrity down there in Geelong. He's also a football scout. He's a well-known analyst. His name's Joey Giacomazzo. He's from.
Oh, not Joey! Oh, Lord Almighty! Now I know why he's not going to be on the actual screen. He's going to be on the phone because he's a very smooth with the ladies, and Joey G. He's going to make the rest of us look really ugly. Not that that's hard, but yeah, I've always been told I've got a face for radio. Well, now it's bloody audio visual as well component. Mate, what's happening in the news? Let's get into that first of all. Lots happening and not a lot happening at the same time. Shall we start off with the announcement with the Matildas? That's pretty fresh.
Yeah. Look, that's been circling now for a few weeks, I think, of whether he will he, won't he, take charge of the Matildas for the upcoming World Cup and the Olympics, and today it's been announced that Ante Milicic has stepped aside from the Matildas coach, to take up obviously his role full time at MacArthur in the A-League for the 2021 season. So bit of a shock, not a shock, I suppose. I think it comes down. Am I surprised? I am a little bit. I thought he might have wanted to take the Matildas to the World Cup, and obviously not many coaches get the opportunity to coach at an Olympics. But I suppose money talks. When you're offered a perceived 1.4 million to take over the new A-League club, or $500,000 for the Matildas, then I suppose you have to think of what's right, because football's a funny old game, and you might not be in it for very long, Tonci, as we know.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, it's always one of those difficult for a coach, isn't it? And for a career coach. I mean, Milicic has been involved with the Matildas, obviously. He's been involved at national level. He's got this opportunity, probably a gilt-edged opportunity to coach at club level. And I think coaches at that high level, at that elite level, they're always torn between whether, once a month camps and things like that, because they're going to be quite busy, obviously, the Matildas, or is it something that you're doing day in, day out, a real hands-on job where you're doing it and it's all consuming. And I think for those type of career coaches, the buzz of day-to-day coaching, as opposed to, these, once a month, maybe camps or live. I don't know. Look, what's your take on that, Craig? Because I suppose it is a bit of a toss-up, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's very hard. I think if you speak to any manager that's been or a coach that's been in the day-to-day rigmarole of being, within a club day-to-day, then going into international, it's very difficult because, like you say, you don't get the players every day. You get them every 6 months, and then you get them for 2 weeks, and then they're back at their clubs again. So I suppose it's a tough job being any international coach. But I suppose the big question now is who's going to take over?
And that's exactly what Chris Briffa says.
In a time where, sorry, Tonci?
And that's exactly what Chris Briffa says on the comments. He says, who will coach the Matildas next? And he also pays the credit.
Montenegro has been the Arsenal ladies coach. I know he's been touted, and I think he said yesterday, I think I saw something say that he's not interested at this stage, and he wants to stay with Arsenal in the Women's Premier League in the UK. So I suppose who's next to step up? What Ante has done by doing this, and of course he's always had the MacArthur job now for about a year. I suppose what it does now is allow somebody to come in and plan for 2 years. So whoever comes in has to be in the role for 2 to 3 years now in a planning progression stage, and continue the work that Ante and his team have done.
And what you've just mentioned there, I reckon, has probably weighed heavily on his mind. As a player, as a coach, he's always been a very considerate, thinking person. Milicic, back in the old NSL days, I think he single-handedly saved Sydney United from virtual bankruptcy. I may stand corrected on this, but he's then $100,000 transfer to Sydney United's arch rival, Sydney Olympic. I think it was back in the 90s. Really saved Sydney United financially. Now, he did that for the betterment of the club. And I think he's doing this for the betterment of the Matildas, because I think everyone realises you're not going to be able to do the MacArthur job properly and the Matildas job properly simultaneously. I think one's got to give. And I think he's done the right thing. I think he has done the right thing in that he's made a choice, or he may have been, his hand may have been forced. We don't know. But look, whether he's made the right choice, whether he's made the wrong choice, that's a hard one to say. Time will tell, I guess. But yeah, he's in an enviable position of being able to choose between two really, really good coaching roles in Australian football.
Yeah, look, and like I say, I think you're probably right there in terms of, he's made the decision for the benefit of Australian football. Of course, he had a job to go to, so it's an easier decision for him. But the fact now that, as I said, Australia or the FFA can now look. Maybe they already have somebody appointed. Maybe the FFA has known for some time that he's going to honour his contract with MacArthur. And they've had somebody in the background that Ante's been doing some work around with the FFA to get the right guy on board, or lady, whoever that might be, whoever that might look like. But whoever comes in, they've got a team that's going in the right direction. We've got the World Cup coming to Australia in 2023. We've got the Olympics to look forward to. So whoever comes in has got a great opportunity to put this stamp on Australian women's football. And just looking at some of the comments here, Donald Pritchard, good evening, Donald. He's said Harry Kewell. Chris Briffa's put.
That's an interesting one. Harry Kewell. I mean, he's just started his managerial, I guess, career, his coaching career.
Yeah,
he's obviously working his way up in English football. Do you stay where you are, where you're starting to build a career, where you're starting to build a name for yourself in that area, or do you get thrown headfirst into a high-profile international job like the Matildas, or will be certainly? Tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. They need to get it right. So that's the number one. So I'm sure the due diligence, I'm sure the interview process will be thorough. And let's hope they get the right one that's going to bring the best out of the Matildas.
What about Tom Sermanni?
Sorry?
What about Tom Sermanni? I mean, he really knows the women's game. He's well respected by a lot of the people within the Matildas ranks. Is he maybe someone?
Yeah, look, who knows, Tonci? We just don't know who. I'm sure they've got a shortlist. Okay, yeah. They're not going to be in a position where they're going to let the current coach go without having a shortlist. And as I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Ante hasn't hasn't been involved in that process. I'll be amazed if he hasn't been. But look, tough decision for the FFA now. Let's make sure they get the right one, because, like I said, we got three big years to get this right. And of course, whoever does come in, there's also talk, as I think it was announced last week. We spoke about. In fact, I spoke about it quite a while back, about having the IES open back up for the next couple of years to get the women's World Cup squads together, the younger girls in, and that's now coming. So whoever comes in is going to have a fantastic opportunity. Martin Colac has just put on there Joe Montemuro. As I said earlier on, Martin, I think Joe, I think he would love to take the job, but I think he's also in a very enviable position of being the head coach at a Premier League club in the UK, and I'm not sure at this stage whether it would be the right move for Joe or him. We'll, again, especially he's just taken two Matildas to Arsenal in Lydia Williams and Steph Catley. So it'll be it'll be interesting. But Michael Long's just put on there, love Joe Montemuro. Let's wait and see, is it?
Yeah, Maxi Santic says, will Ivan Jolic go to MacArthur with Milicic, or is he a Matilda's head coach option? I think he'll definitely follow Milicic to MacArther. I think that was always on the cards.
He's already down as the assistant coach for Milicic.
Yeah. I think that it's a no brainer there. And by the way, Maxi, big shout out to you. From all accounts, the Santic family is soon to be expanded, we believe. All the very best to your wife, who is set to drop any minute now, we're hearing. So Maxi is a regular listener, viewer of our show. A big shout out to Maxi and his lovely wife, Maya. And so we might even have a breaking news as far as that is concerned. The A-League, Craig, it's back up and at 'em, and we've had a couple of games already.
Yeah, we have. Let's talk. I suppose let's talk about that Sydney and Wellington game the other night.
Oh gosh. Had,
Thursday night we had the goalkeeping coach for Wellington Phoenix on the show, and were they robbed?
Well, they were because there was no VAR.
The only week, sorry, Tonci, the only week that they don't have VAR.
Yeah,
and they get a call like that. So from the screens, I'd say that was on, and the benefit should always go with a striker.
Should, absolutely should. And I guess because of now this is interesting, and I'd love to hear what people think. The absence of VAR, and after one game, virtually one week, already people are seeing the benefits and disadvantages, obviously, of having VAR. We constantly go on about the VAR, but now it's almost become so ingrained that we're expecting it. I think the referees have become a little bit dependent, is the word, maybe, on the VAR. We could see how they were kind of, I don't know, maybe they weren't used to making that very split-second decision, because in the past they've had the VAR to fall back on. And look, the KO Sports and Fox Sports cameras, they replayed it a few times, and you could actually see, still debatable, but if it was VAR, I think it would have been a penalty. And so were they robbed? Yeah, possibly. And that was at that, I think it was 1-1, wasn't it? And if they had scored that,
1-1, and then what happens? They don't get the goal, and 2 minutes later, Sydney got the other end and score. So, I suppose it's the luck of the break, but you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Referees got a tough job anyway, but without VAR, it makes it even harder. But I was talking to Paul Gothard after the game on Friday evening, and he basically said, look, probably the referees, they've had 4 months off, they're a little bit rusty. Maybe and a little bit off pace, but he said, look, we go again on Wednesday night. So he was pretty upbeat about the performance, and I actually thought they played some really good football against a very, very good Sydney FC side.
Yeah, Sydney FC running our 3-1 winners on opening night. Last night we had Perth Glory taking on Central Coast Mariners in Gosford. Tight game, 1-0 to Perth Glory, a very, very narrow win, a good win to Perth Glory. The great thing about Perth Glory, I will say this, and I've never been a Glory fan, I must admit, but they're blooding a lot of youngsters. Okay, Popovic, he blooded, obviously, his 2 sons, but they picked up a couple of NPL players from Sydney. one from Wollongong as well, who's come, who had a season at Canberra, Croatia, I believe. An Englishman by the name of, is it James? Oh, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Good player. We saw him in the FFA Cup about 2 years ago. He was really, really good player. He went to Wollongong Wolves and then got snapped up by Perth Glory. Look, they're willing to play the youngsters, and I reckon the last 30 or whatever games of the A-League season is going to be great for the amount of youngsters that are going to be blooded. We've seen with Western United.
It has to, Tonci.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm looking forward to that.
How many players are actually leaving the sort of international players that have left to go back to their own country? You know, to believe, you know, if what you read in the papers and on through the media that Melbourne Victory could have at least 7 players from the youth squad. Now, is that not what we want?
Yeah.
Do we not want the youngsters coming through? You know, Western United have just signed 2 young lads from New South Wales into their squad. So, you know, Mark Rudan's giving those kids an opportunity, and you know that's what football's about. You know, and we'll talk about it in a minute with our guest that we've got coming on. It's a prime example of there. If you're not giving these kids an opportunity, you're never going to know. Now,
absolutely. And look,
we got 5 or 6 weeks to really bed these kids in and give them an opportunity. So you can either say you're either going to sink or swim over the next 5 weeks. If you swim, fantastic, we've got a player on our hands. If you don't, you've had the opportunity.
And look, I think if the Football Victoria does manage to get some sort of a NPL post or spring, summer, mini season, Lightning Premiership tournament, whatever you want to call it, if they do get it off the ground, I think this would be an awesome opportunity for our NPL clubs here in Victoria to blood the youngsters. You know, all right, they're not going to be able to pay big money. They're not going to get some of the best players playing and that kind of stuff, and etc. They're imports. But it's an opportunity where, you know, there's no relegation. There's nothing to lose, basically. Awesome opportunity to blood these youngsters, give them a taste of playing at a higher level, give them an opportunity to play at senior level, because you never know. That's the only way you're going to uncover a diamond in the rough, by throwing the kids in at the deep end. I think brilliant opportunity.
Yep.
All right. What else is happening, mate? Any other news? Anything else worth talking about?
No, apart from that, it's all been a bit quiet. Obviously, if we really want to talk football, well, we're not really talking football. We're talking Leeds United. They're back in the Premier League after West Brom have blown their chances of winning the championship overnight by losing. So look, it's great to see Leeds back in. I think there's going to be some big games in that league this year. And you know, you talk about, and you've heard it so many times, where clubs change their coaches, you know, when things don't go right. They bought Marcelo Bielsa in from Italy, a well-known coach that's coached in a World Cup. They bought him in. 3 years, they've blown it at the last hurdle. The 4th year they've gone and they've finally got promoted. So, you know, there's a big thing to say that, you know, a lot of clubs would have, you know, got rid of their coach, you know, after they failed maybe twice. They've kept with him, and now they've got their just rewards. You know, if you look, we talked about the youngsters then. Look how many youngsters he's brought through that Leeds side. They're going to be a dynamic side in the next year or so. You know, they've some really quality young footballers in that squad, and they're certainly going to brighten up the Premier League in
absolutely
more than one way next year.
Yeah,
sure.
Look, what is it? 16 years after 16-year absence, or was it?
16 years, yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to see. Good to see. I must admit, you know, stories like that are really, as you said, refreshing for the English Premier League. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of our listeners, Leeds United diehards, who are going to be very, very excited. Very excited. We mentioned a few, and now we're also going to. I guess we're going to have something to look forward to. Look, we're going to take a break here on the Football Fan Zone. Do not go away. Go out and prepare yourself a drink or something like that, because we're not going to be too long with our first guest all the way from the UK. Stay tuned, and we're going to be speaking on the other side of the break with RYAN BROOM. Have you got a business and you want to promote your brand to a ready-made audience? Have you got a birthday coming up in the family and would like to send that someone special a special message? Then why not consider a sponsorship on the Football Out West show? With an ever-growing audience right across Melbourne's western suburbs and the surrounding regions of Wyndham, Melton, Geelong, and even as far as Ballarat, your business or that special person in your life could become a household name. More importantly, you will be armed with the knowledge you are being part of a football show that is fast becoming a movement and a catalyst for great change in our wonderful game locally. The revolution is here, and we want you to jump on board and be a part of it. Welcome back to the Football Fan Zone. And we are really excited with our next guest. Hopefully he won't be too far away. And we will be tuning in very, very closely. I think we've got him on. And Craig joins us back on. And Craig, how are you? Have we got our first guest on the line? Switch your microphone on.
Sorry, it may be a little bit early in the morning, but there may be a bit of a delay. But welcome to the show, RYAN BROOM. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Craig.
Hello, Ryan. How are you? It's Tonci here.
Brilliant. Hi, nice to see you. Yeah, keeping well. About 2 weeks out from pre-season now, so just keeping myself ticking over, getting fit for the new season ahead.
Very good. And you've obviously you've just come back off your holidays, I believe, mate. Been in Spain?
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend had a couple of weeks in Spain. So nice to get a bit of time off, just to switch off a bit mentally, and just coming back now, ready to go.
Ready for the season. Yeah.
Where'd you go, Ryan? Where in Spain did you end up going?
It's about 20 to 30 minutes south of Alicante. Place called Torrevieja.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent some time there, and then we had a few nights then up close towards Alicante, a little town called Villajoyosa. So it was about 30 degrees every day.
Perfect.
So you can't really fault the weather. I'm usually away in June, so it's a bit cooler, but middle of July was very hot for me.
Very good, very good. Well, back to it, mate. It's if it's any consolation, mate, it's 10 degrees over here and bloody freezing. So
well, there you go.
Yeah, happy days. So listen, thanks for coming on, mate. As I said to the listeners earlier on, I've been following you for a number of years now. We've known each other for probably 10 years. And I just we've been talking last couple of weeks about youth development here in Australia and how important it is to give kids opportunities, and then we've talked about the mental state of players, and we're obviously through the coronavirus, how difficult it is without any football, and what players can do to motivate themselves. Now, I know from a very early age you've been playing football, and you played originally for your hometown club, which is Cardiff City, and you were there within the academy for a number of years. And what happened sort of when you were sort of 12, 13, right? Can you just talk us through what happened and how it came about, and more so how you felt as a young upcoming football player?
Yeah. Started kicking ball at about 9 years old, and just on the street and stuff. And then before you know it, you join the club. I really enjoyed my time at the local team. Obviously, you're playing with your mates. And within no time, really, I had attraction from Cardiff, as you mentioned. So within 12 months of joining the club, I was already involved within like a professional environment, as in an academy at a very early age. So I went down initially for a trial period at 11 years old. I think I got turned away a couple of times, and then ended up sort of signing down there at about 12 years old. You're just sort of thrown into such a professional environment, and you're sort of told how to live your life, what you should be doing after training, and it's a very, very early age. And to be honest with you, for some people, like they really benefit from that, but for others, for me, for example, I just really enjoyed just playing with a smile on my face when I was a kid, and I found it quite difficult to sort of adapt to the academy environment. So it didn't really work out for me there at a certain age, at such a young age, and it ended up going back to play local football with my mates. Really started to enjoy myself again, and within next to no time, again, probably 6 months, I think I bumped into yourself and
you did,
Kevin Waterhouse, I believe.
That's right, it was.
Playing a tournament in Bristol.
Yeah.
And then I joined your sort of setup, and it was a really really good experience. And I found it wasn't so strict. I think as a kid you learn a lot, and you you tend to just grow as a football player when you're just enjoying yourself and practicing, training, playing games with a smile on your face rather than being told, "Oh, this is how you got to do it." And I
Just
enjoyed that freedom as a player.
just on that, right? Is from your experiences, and obviously you've spoken to you obviously a lot of your friends would have gone through the same process. Is there a lot of pressure on young kids to succeed at a too early age, year 8, 9, 10, 11, 12s, when probably they should be enjoying their football a little bit more without the I
Yeah,
suppose the the problems of, I'm at a professional club, I have to succeed, I have to do this, I have to do that. Should it not be a case of kids should be playing with their mates until maybe they're 12, 13, and then maybe, because people grow in different ways. A good player at 8,
yeah,
9 years old might not be that same player by the time they're 12 or 13, and likewise the opposite way. So what's your thoughts on that?
definitely. I'd agree. I think a lot of pressure is put on at an early age, and um, it's a sort of environment where it's difficult to make friends as well,
Mm,
because everyone is so focused, even parents especially, on at 9, 10, 11 years old on on their child being a professional player at Cardiff City
mm,
first team, and they don't understand that they're literally a million miles away. And it, like you said, it doesn't become really important until you're 14, 15, 16 years old. I think the most important thing to do up until that age is just to grow yourself, whatever environment it is, and just become the best football player you can be. Without that pressure, it's really unnecessary. Looking back, it's all about enjoying your football. And then don't get me wrong, when you get to a certain age, you have to focus on, right, this is when I need to play well every week because this is important because I need to get the scholarship, which will take me on another level. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And
Now,
talking to the scholarship there, sorry, Tonch, go on.
go. I was going to say, right? No, Craig, you go first. I was just going to ask Ryan something else. Go. You go. You go.
Okay. Obviously, scholarship point of view, you obviously were at you got highlighted by actually myself and Kevin, and you came into our development centre, as you said there, and then you got selected to go to the Bristol Rovers Academy.
That's what I was going to ask him.
I think you were 14 years old when you went to the academy. Um,
Yeah.
and what was that like then? Because obviously you're living, 30, 40 minutes away from the training venue, having to travel 3, 4 nights a week. How was that
Yeah.
environment, and how did you cope with school and everything? Because you still had to go to school at that time.
Yeah. It was a massive effort from my parents, to be honest. Because my dad's self-employed, and he was literally driving probably like 8 to 10 hours a week, which was taking out a massive proportion out of his life. So I couldn't have done it without him, first and foremost. And then obviously I felt like maybe because Bristol Rovers were not uh, obviously in the league standings, they're much lower than Cardiff. I didn't find that the environment was so pressured.
Mm.
So I actually enjoyed it there a lot more. And I felt more prepared as well because I'd had that experience of being at Cardiff and and joining a new squad with you in Newport, Craig, and then I feel like I was sort of more ready for it by the time I went to Bristol.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really enjoyed it there at the time. Like you said, I was probably around 13, 14 at the time.
Now, Ryan, when you were at Cardiff and they basically gave you the news, or let you go and gave you the chop, did it? I mean, as a 12-year-old kid, you'd hate to think that at that stage you're entertaining thoughts that you're not good enough to be professional and that kind of stuff. But did thoughts go through your mind? That's it. Oh, I just want to give football away. No, I'll concentrate on something else. And if it did, who at that time helped you the most to maybe get you back on the path?
Yeah, I'd say I'd say my parents played a massive part in getting me back on the path because at the time I remember sitting in a room with my dad and obviously someone looking at you in the face at 10, 11 years old saying, "Oh, we're not taking you on, and we don't think you're going to make it because of this, that." And you have to take on that information. And I thought it was very harsh the way I was treated at the time. But I didn't think of it in that terms because I was only a kid. I used that sort of rejection as fuel to just get better and prove that, right, I'm going to make it over the lads that are in the squad at Cardiff that I can't get into. And I actually met the coach who rejected me not long ago, 6 months ago. And I just had a conversation with him, and I said, I feel like the way you spoke to me when I was a younger lad, I feel like that really motivated me to prove you wrong. I said, and I'm very grateful for that. But I believe, like, at the time I was a very strong kid, but I don't think many younger kids would have taken the same sort of reaction that I did. So I feel like it was very harsh treatment at the time. But in my case, I feel like it worked for me. But in other cases, I feel like it could have broken other kids. You know what I mean?
And you do see that, right? I've seen that over the years, and you've been about the circuit now, and you've been in that environment for how many kids were in that squad that you were in that are no longer playing football. I know boys that are playing at Cardiff that had pro contracts at Cardiff and are now playing in Welsh League football because they didn't have that desire, they didn't have the will, the want, the belief in themselves. And I remember, mate, and it's not I'm not here to beef you up in any way, shape, or form, but I remember going to that tournament. And I spent probably 3/4 of the day watching you. And I remember having to go and try to convince your dad to bring you. And he said, no, you got to let him play with his mates now because he's just gone through all the experience of being. And I said, look, there's something there that he needs to be in that level. So it's really important then what you said about having the belief in. You might not have your coach's belief, but you've got to have the belief in yourself that you're going to be the best that you can be. You proved that. Look, you're not playing in the Premier League. That's everybody's goal, to play in the Premier League. But you're playing professional football, training day in, day out, and we'll touch on that in a minute. And that's credit to you because, like I said, it's very important that kids who get rejected. Even we talk about it in Australia here, where the standard is perhaps not as good as it is in the UK. However, there's some very, very good, talented young footballers here. The doors never closed. The opportunity, football, regardless of how big the world is, the football community is very small. And there's always somebody watching. There's always somebody talking. There's always somebody looking. And if you put your best foot forward every time you step over that white line, whether it's in training, whether it's in the matches, then, who knows what can happen. And I suppose you're a prime example of that, where you didn't let it get to you. You made it the reason that you wanted to become better, and you've taken that mantle on, and you've proved that you can go and do it. So, for my side, it's we talked about, so obviously, Bristol Rovers there. So when you were at Bristol Rovers, then you were obviously given a scholarship program at the club, and then given a contract.
Yeah, I was given initially a 1-year contract. So I made my debut at 18 years old, my professional debut against Birmingham City in the League Cup, and then followed by that, I literally went out on loan for a couple of months to get some more men's football. I returned again, and then I made my league debut at my hometown in Newport in the league. So that was a brilliant first season for me. I achieved my goal of making my debut. And then the following 2 seasons, we as a squad we achieved promotion to League One. So we stepped up again, and I had a couple more loans, and I did really well on loan. I had a handful of appearances at Bristol Rovers in each season in the league. But I was always chomping at the bit to play more football. Even when I was out on loan, I'd always ask, "Can I stay out on loan? I'm playing games, I'm enjoying it. Can I please stay out on loan and carry on?" And then I'd get pulled back to the first team squad just to sort of sit around, be on the bench, etc.
Yeah.
So at the time, I got to the age of about 21, and I really needed to play more games. So I came to the end of my contract at 21, and again I felt it was time to move on because I wasn't playing enough football at Bristol Rovers. So again, I felt sort of a little bit of rejection again, that I wasn't good enough for that level. So I used that as fuel to go to Cheltenham Town, and for the last 2 seasons, I've probably enjoyed my football more than ever, playing week in, week out, and just really expressing myself to the best I possibly can.
Ryan, if we go back to your time at Bristol, you went on 3 loan stints to, now pardon my English, Taunton Town, Bath City, and Eastleigh.
Yes.
Every time you went out on loan, or every time you offered to go on loan or told to go on loan, you said that after you left Bristol, you sort of felt once again a little bit of that rejection rearing its ugly head. But every time you were faced with a loan at another club, did those black demons of rejection start to enter your kind of thinking? And you said when you left Bristol, you used that as motivation. Did you use that as motivation as well each time you'd go out on loan? And what were the qualities, I think, every time you stepped out to this new environment? What were some of the qualities that really got you through?
Yeah, definitely. Each time I went on loan, I felt it was my obviously responsibility to prove that I shouldn't be out on loan, if you like. It's a weird thing to say, but I honestly felt that I could make an impact, and I used to speak to the manager often, probably more than I probably should have, to be honest, because I used to say I feel like I can play and affect the games here at Bristol Rovers. So each time I went on loan, I felt like I had to prove to my manager at Bristol at the time that I could play in the first team. But he obviously didn't think I was ready at the time, which is, that's football. Everyone has their opinions, and like we talk about the rejection sort of thing, I don't take it personally, the rejection, because it could be another manager at Bristol Rovers who could play me every week. It's just one person's opinion. I think that's the most important thing to get your head around in football, is one person's opinion doesn't sort of make you who you are. And then going back to being a kid, I think that's important because you don't understand that at the time. As a kid, you just want to sort of develop and grow and play. So being rejected at an early age probably helped me, because I understand what I was stepping into in the game of football, because it's not just one flat road where you're going to have a brilliant time the whole way through. You're going to have peaks and troughs, and I think from an early age, them early rejections I had probably stood me in good stead for what's to come in the future, and hopefully now I'm a better player for all of the experiences I had.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, in 2018, you joined, as you said, Cheltenham Town, and in 2018-19, you played 39 games for the club, scored 2 goals, and obviously this season, 34 games, but of course the season was cut short. So you're 23 now, and even though you've said you've not been playing regularly in the first team, whether it's Bristol Rovers, you played 102 games and scored 18 goals in that period. So. We talk about your time at Cheltenham. Now this year, you've obviously stepped up again, and you've had I suppose for yourself, a standout season, and you've picked up three awards this week at the club's award ceremony, and I think you had the player of the year, which is the sponsors award. I think you had the Norwegian Supporters Club. Now we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment, but the Norwegians Cheltenham Town Supporters Club Award. And the most important one, I think, for any footballer when they're playing is the Players Player Award. That's given by and voted for by your peers, the people you're on step on the field with week in, week out. And they obviously thought you were worthy of the Players Player Award. So, having everything that we've spoken about, your rejection at an early age, your opportunity to sign for a club, your determination to play football in at Bristol Rovers in League Two and then in League One, not quite given the opportunity, and then going to Cheltenham and stamping your authority. How does that make you feel, mate? Because if I look at you now and I think 75 league appearances for Cheltenham in 2 seasons, 12 goals in that time. and 3 awards in one season is a fantastic result, mate. So, what do you put that down to?
Yeah, I think it's just sort of probably sounded negative the way I've talked about my sort of history as a football player, but I really feel that I've reaped the rewards eventually here at Cheltenham Town, and like it's just obviously playing the amount of games that I've had in the last 2 seasons. I really feel that I'm up to speed and where I should be as a 23-year-old now, and yeah, I'm just so grateful to be able to step out on the pitch for Cheltenham and be able to express myself week in, week out. And I really feel like I'm playing my best football of my career so far at the moment. So I'm just, like I said, I'm chomping at the bit to get started for my 3rd season at Cheltenham Town and sort of see where that takes us now, because like you said, it's a really positive experience for me now. And I put that down to like all of the experiences I've had really, and just bouncing back from rejections and working hard and always doing like extra training on my own, after training, and just preparing myself for games so that I can perform at my best all the time.
Ryan, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. And I think getting that insight into the resilience, the strength of mind, the strength of character that you've displayed and shown, from a very, very young age, and learnt how to take all those knocks and get back on your feet. And, reminds me of that English tub thumping song that you get knocked down, but get up again, and nothing's going to get you down. I think that song was written about you, mate, to tell you the truth. But your your whole time that you've done is just incredible. But one thing that happens here in Australia, particularly amongst the juniors, is we have a 18, maybe max 20, 22 game season. And compared to over in Europe, particularly the UK, where, juniors, youth players sometimes play, 60, 70, 80, 100 of games. I know it's a silly question, but how important was the fact that you played so many games, particularly at that, older level as a youngster? How important was that to your development and to unleashing that beast within as a player?
Sorry, was that how many games that I played as a young player?
Yeah, so we only play sort of maximum 22 games a season over here.
Yeah, if that.
So how does it compare to, I suppose, what you would play in the UK in terms of obviously a pro league? You'd be playing, 40 odd games plus the cups plus all of that. But as a junior, you'd be looking at 60, 70, 80 games a season. So how important is it for you to have those games?
Yeah, I think biggest thing from them, obviously you're playing like two games in a week sometimes, so Tuesday Saturday, and I just think that the most you learn is from playing games. You can train and like that match play and the match minutes was where you learn the most. And after the game you analyze the games, see what you could do better, see what you could do wrong, and you're just constantly learning from every game you play. And I think if you look back after a 12-month period, and for example, if you've played about 50 games, if you look back at your progression and the levels you've improved, it's massive, really. And I think that's down to just constantly playing the games and having different experiences. You're 1-0 down and you have to play a certain way, or you might be 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go and you have to sustain a lead. It's just the tactical advancements you make from just playing constantly all the games. I think it's really important.
Yeah, fantastic.
Brilliant.
All right, mate. Well, listen, we're really glad that you've given up your Sunday morning, get up nice and early. I know you were up late last night, but I really appreciate the fact that you've come on this morning. Just give us a little insight into what your football journey has been like from being released as a young kid to now taking League Two by storm this season and picking up 3 awards, mate. So. Big congratulations from me. I know I do follow you on a regular basis, and it's great to keep see you doing what you're doing, mate. And just keep up the good work. And what does the future hold for RYAN Broom? Where does he want to be playing in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, I want to play at the highest level possible. I want to represent my country. I have massive aspirations to do that. And I'm only going to achieve that by carrying on what I'm doing, improving every day, and making sure I'm putting the hours in on the training ground. And hopefully I can reap my rewards in the next 2 to 3 years. But thanks for having me on, Craig, and also a big thanks to you both. It's been a pleasure to come on here.
No problem at all.
And thanks for the support as well.
No problem at all,
Thank
Ryan.
you, Ryan.
Look after yourself, mate, and keep up the good work, pal.
Okay, thanks. Take care, lads.
Cheers, mate.
Bye
Say
now.
hi to your mum and dad for me.
That was Ryan Broom, all the way from the UK. He had some really, really good words of wisdom, pearls of wisdom there for young players who feel like their world has come crashing down when they're told that they're not good enough. And it happens, as we said, a lot, all the time, particularly at that under 12 level when they start to migrate into that NPL scene where they may trial, they may get rejected, and you see kids just lose interest. And even those kids that probably aren't good enough for the NPL, they just say, "Oh, I'm never going to be a professional," and they start to just really, really lose it and lose that motivation. So just listening to the stuff that this kid had to put up with, and the little demons that constantly entered his mind. It was brilliant. It was absolutely. I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know what everyone else thought, but Santino Mamoni says, "Good interview. Thanks very much, Santino." Maxi Sentich, all the best, Ryan. Keep pushing yourself. So yeah, look, a lot of interesting comments coming through the comments feed.
Yeah, look, there'll be lots of players around the world like Ryan. I just happened to know him and saw his story this week and thought, what a great opportunity to get him on.
Absolutely.
So there'll be lots, like I said, there'll be lots of kids in his. But I suppose the one question I didn't get to ask him right at the end: what advice would he give to any youngster that's been given the bad news or released or told they're not good enough? But I think I think he sort of said that
pretty much
determination, drive, desire. Yeah. Don't let yourself be beaten. Dust yourself off and go again was effectively what I took from
Absolutely.
it.
That's what I took.
So no, it's good little call, something different for a Sunday night, and hope the listeners enjoyed it. And we'll see if we can get a few more of those type of callers on over the next couple of weeks.
I'll just summarize what he said. What really resonated with me when he went out on loan, he goes, he felt like it was his responsibility to prove that he should not be on loan. I had to prove I was worthy of a spot at Bristol Rovers. That was brilliant. I thought I really took a lot out of that. Now, there's a progress score in the A-League game being contested at the Seabus Super Stadium, and that is between Brisbane Roar and Adelaide United. We've gone 17 and a half, almost 18 minutes in the first half, and it's the visitors, Adelaide United, leading Brisbane Roar 1-0, and the goal scorer was Christian Fardel Opseth, scoring in the 6th minute. We're going to take a little bit of a break. When we return, it's the quiz time, the Football Fan Zone quiz time. Don't go away. You're tuning into the Football Fan Zone. Have you got a business and you want to promote your brand to a ready-made audience? Have you got a birthday coming up in the family and would like to send that someone special a special message? Then why not consider a sponsorship on the Football Out West show? With an ever-growing audience right across Melbourne's western suburbs and the surrounding regions of Wyndham, Melton, Geelong, and even as far as Ballarat, your business or that special person in your life could become a household name. More importantly, you will be armed with the knowledge you are being part of a football show that is fast becoming a movement and a catalyst for great change in our wonderful game locally. The revolution is here, and we want you to jump on board and be a part of it. Welcome back to the Football Fan Zone, and we have got an exciting little concept, project, however you want to call it. I don't know. Craig, what shall we call it? He's switched his mic off again.
How about something unique, Tonci? Why don't we just call it a trivia quiz?
Trivia quiz. I like it. Yep. The Sunday night trivia quiz or something like that. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some names coming through.
If you've got a good name just for our little segment here, let us know. By the way, notice that I'm wearing this very, very smart cardigan. I'm hoping it's giving me a little bit extra on my IQ, but time will tell. All right, mate. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Are we going to bring
All
in?
right. Do we have our guest on the in the green room? Is he there waiting?
Come on, there he is. There's Michael Long. How are you, Michael?
Good evening, Michael. Can you hear us? That's not a good start.
That's not a good start. We can hear him, but he can't hear us. What's going on? Hello, Michael. Hello, Michael.
Michael, can you hear us?
Hello. It's no good.
Sorted out, Tonci.
Yep, no. Can't get him for whatever reason, unfortunately. That's no good. How are we going to do this?
Michael, if you can hear us, log off and come back on, mate.
Yeah, might have to be the case, yeah. Hello, Michael. It's not working. Damn it. Talk about something, Craig, and I'll try and get a hold of Michael, hey?
Yeah, no worries. Well, on the other line we have the other guest, and he's waiting patiently. It is the what would I call him? He's the football guru of Geelong. He's a club scout. He's an analyst. Ooh, what else could I call you, Joey?
Oh, just call me a dude that gives opportunities.
Call him the smooth operator. Call him the smooth operator. How are you, Joey G? What's going on?
No, not much. Just chilling at the moment. Really missing my football, you know.
Hello, Hello, Michael.
Be able to learn and all that kind of stuff.
Very good. Yep.
Now we've got visual of Michael, but we don't have him here.
We're having some problems getting Michael on screen. Well, we get him on screen, but we can't hear him. So just bear with us.
Now, what's been happening, Joey G? How's G-Town?
Not too much, actually. I'm missing being able to go to training and have a job to analyse teams during the week and study teams and study players, and I miss all that. You know, you miss it once it's gone. I mean, you get that bit bored when it's the season. You know, it's a constant grind, but when it's gone, you just want it back again.
Okay, I think we may have Michael back on the line. Michael, are you there?
Yes, good. I'm here, yeah.
Okay, we can hear him now. Awesome.
That's a little bit different to what it should be.
Yeah, I logged onto the thing that you sent me, but I couldn't get. There's nothing. It's just saying it's going live.
No worries. You're on air, Michael.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so all right then. Oh, you can just see. Okay, all right. We've lost him, but I think we can hear him. Hello, Michael. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
That'll do for now. So what we'll do then, we'll get going because I'm sure everybody can't wait for the quiz. So we've got 3 sets of questions. There's 10 questions in each section, okay, and they're all multiple choice. So Michael will give you the opportunity. You're going to go for questions number 1, 2, or 3.
We just lost Michael. Hang on. We're going to get him. We're going to get him back. Hello,
Joey.
Michael.
Yes. Hey, man.
You're there. Okay. You pick. You can get first pick then. Do you want questions 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to go 2.
You're going to go 2. Rightio. Tonci, 1, 2, or 3?
Hello.
Yes, I'm here, yeah. Tonci.
Yeah. I can hear you, but I can't hear Craig now. Oh, God. What is going on?
Technology issues.
We are having all sorts of technology issues. Hello, Craig. Can we hear you?
I can hear you, Tonci.
Okay, nice work. Well done. All right. We're going to get there.
This is going swimmingly.
Oh, far out. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Hello?
Yeah, just hang on there, Joe. We'll get you on quick as we can, mate.
Hello?
Hello, Michael.
Yes.
Okay, we can hear you now. I don't know why Craig's volume's very low, though.
Is it?
What happened to the app?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're just having all sorts of freaking nightmares. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, all right, we're back on. Okay, so how are we going to go, Craig? How are we going to do this?
Right, let's just have a quick break, and I'll call Michael up on the phone. What's your number? Just get Michael off screen a sec, Tonci, and them on. I'll just go to a break, and I'll get Michael on the phone.
Okay, all right. We're going to have a little bit of a break here. Unfortunately, we're just having some technical issues, so we'll have to play another advert, and we'll come back. Have you got a business and you want to promote your brand to a ready-made audience? Have you got a birthday coming up in the family and would like to send that someone special a special message? Then why not consider a sponsorship on the Football Out West show? With an ever-growing audience right across Melbourne's western suburbs and the surrounding regions of Wyndham, Melton, Geelong, and even as far as Ballarat, your business or that special person in your life could become a household name. More importantly, you will be armed with the knowledge you are being part of a football show that is fast becoming a movement and a catalyst for great change in our wonderful game locally. The revolution is here, and we want you to jump on board and be a part of it. Okay, looks like we're back on. Okay, Craig, we're back on. We're trying to get a hold of Michael. Hello. 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 Craig.
Hello.
Hello. Michael, how are we going?
Yes.
Okay, we've got Michael, we've got Joey, and we've got Craig. Sorry, folks, we're having some technical difficulties. Unfortunately, it really is just does not seem to be working. Huh, Craig? Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Yeah. Okay. At least we can hear each other for some reason, but unfortunately, I don't know what's going on.
Send me Michael's number, and I'll call him and add him to the call, mate. Just send me his number on the message.
Yep. Okay. Hello, Michael.
Yes, Tonci.
Okay, we're there.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you now, mate. But unfortunately, for some unknown reason, Craig can't hear you. Okay.
If he's comfortable doing that, then we'll have to do it from there.
Yeah, I can hear him now.
All right, there we go. We can hear you, Craig, now.
Okay. Have we got Joey?
Hi, Craig.
Right here.
Joey's here as well. Okay.
All right, we've finally got everyone. We can talk now.
I do apologise. So, Michael, do you want questions number 2 or number 3?
Number 2, please.
Sorry, number 1 or number 3? Sorry, mate.
Oh,
No,
one or 3?
1.
1.
Okay. All right, let's get on with this. So, Tonci, you're up first.
Okay. Oh, the pressure's on.
All right. Prior to a successful career at Blackburn Rovers, Brett Emerton played for which other European club? Is it A, Vitesse Arnhem? Is it B, Feyenoord? Or is it C, Ajax?
Oh, bugger. Vitesse Arnhem. Feyenoord. All right. Can we have some thinking music, please? Oh. Okay. I'm going to have to say Feyenoord.
Don't look into Google either, Tonci. Yeah?
No Googling. No Googling allowed. No Googling allowed.
Feyenoord. Feyenoord's correct.
Yes.
Feyenoord's correct. 1 point. Joey.
Yes.
Who was the first player to score in the A-League? Was it A, Archie Thompson, B, Carl Vert, or C, Steve McMahon?
I reckon Archie Thompson.
Is that your final answer?
I say so.
I reckon
Okay.
he's wrong.
That's wrong. It was Carl Vert.
Yes, I knew that one. Oh, damn it. Why didn't you ask me that question?
Yes, there we go. Michael, you up for your
Yes.
first one? Who won the 2006 Grand Final at the end of the 2005 A-League season? Was it A, Melbourne Victory? Was it B, Brisbane Roar? Or was it C, Sydney?
Sorry, what's the question again? 2005-6 final, was it?
2006 final.
The first, it's Sydney. They beat the Mariners.
Sydney, yes, correct. 1 point. Very good. Tonci, back to you. Who was the first person to play for both? Who was the first person to both play and coach an A-League team? Was it A, John Aloisi, B, Ian Ferguson, or C, Scott Miller?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Kevin Muscat.
Stop Googling, Tonci.
I reckon it was Scotty Miller.
Nope, it was Ian Ferguson. Question 2 to Joey. Joey.
Okay.
Who scored 5 goals in the 2007 A-League Grand Final? Was it A, Danny Alsop, B, Steve Corica, or C, Archie Thompson?
I'm going to go and say Archie because he was prolific that year.
It was Archie Thompson. He actually scored 5 of the 6 goals in a 6-0 win over Adelaide United. Danny Alsop also played in the game but failed to score. So a point to Joey. Well done, mate. Who are we on? We're on Michael.
Michael.
Yes.
Michael, who was Melbourne Victory's captain in the inaugural season? Was it A, Kevin Muscat, B, Michael Ferrante, or C, Vince Leia?
It's Kevin Muscat.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. You guys have got your job cut out tonight. Better pull your socks up. Okay.
Can I press the hang up button on Michael now?
You can hang him up, yeah, you can turn him off. Okay. Here we go, Tonch.
Yes.
Which PL team are known as the Irons? Is it A, Bournemouth, B, West Ham United, or C, Newcastle United?
It's not what Newcastle United, not Bournemouth. I think it's the West Ham United. They've got that like iron sort of thing in their emblem. West Ham United.
Yeah, spot on. Good answer. Well done. Joey, question 3. Which EPL team are known as the Eagles? Is it A, Crystal Palace, B, Southampton, or C, Aston Villa?
It's got to be the Palace.
Spot on, mate. Yeah, great answer.
Tried to put him off with a little bit of that thinking music, but it didn't help. Well done, Joey G.
All right. Michael.
Yes.
Which EPL team are known as the Hornets? Is it A, Leicester City, B, Sheffield United, or C, Watford?
Watford.
3 out of 3, 100%, guys.
Hopefully, if you're playing at home, let us know if how many points you're getting.
Yeah, the answers are coming up. There's obviously a few taking place here because the answers are coming up on the screen. Maxi Santic is answering all of them at the moment. So, question 4 to Tonci. Which Dutch coach gave Lionel Messi his Barcelona debut in La Liga? Was it A, Frank Rijkaard, B, Ronald Koeman, or C, Louis van Gaal?
Louis van Gaal.
Final answer?
Yes.
No, it was Frank Rijkaard.
Bugger.
Joey.
Yes.
Question 4. How old was Lionel Messi when he made his debut for Barcelona in the La Liga? Was he A, 16, B, 17, or C, 18?
What was the answers again?
Well, not the answers. Don't give him the answers.
So how old was Lionel Messi when he made his debut for Barcelona in the Liga? Was he A, 16, B, 17, or C, 18?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say 16 years of age.
16. Unfortunately, Joey was 17. He came on in the 82nd minute on October the 16th, 2004, 2005, and he played against Espanyol. So a wrong answer there for you, Joey.
Damn.
Okay. Michael, Cristiano Ronaldo played for which Portuguese club before joining Manchester United in 2003? Was it A, Benfica, B, Sporting Lisbon, or
Sporting
C,
Lisbon.
FC Porto?
Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon it was, 100% for Michael. You can switch him off now if you want, Tonch.
Yeah, can I do that? Did you
Yeah,
actually say
yeah.
Portuguese? I thought I heard you say Portuguese club. You're going for
5, Tonchi.
yes, Nottingham. Call me Nottingham.
Which Australian played for Liverpool in the 2005 Champions League final against AC Milan? Was it A, Harry Kewell, B, Craig Johnston, or C, Brett Emerton?
Oh, that's easy. Harry Kewell.
Yeah,
Cool.
he lasted 27 minutes and got injured again. Okay, Joey, question 5 for you, mate.
Okay.
Who was the first 1 million footballer when he signed from Nottingham Forest from Birmingham City in 1979? Was it A, Gary Birtles, B, Trevor Francis, or C, Martin O'Neill?
Trevor Francis.
It certainly was, mate.
Even I knew that.
Yeah, he actually, according to Brian Clough, he actually cost 999,999 pence.
Apparently, he went over to his house. You have to listen to the story behind it. He goes over to his house and gives him like a thing of flowers and everything.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable story, isn't it? Yeah. Well done, Joe. Good answer. Michael, question 5 for you. In 1994, 1994 saw Australia square off against multiple World Cup winners and finalists. Which team did Australia come very close to defeating in the playoffs for qualification? Was it A,
Argentina.
B,
Argentina.
what did you say then?
Argentina.
B, Argentina, or C, Colombia? Argentina, right. You knew the answer before I finished the question, Tonch.
Man.
Yeah, we're going to have to sack you.
Show off.
Yeah. Okay, so, Tonchi, question number 6 for you.
Have we got a progress score? Craig?
Yeah, we have. Your last.
That's the halfway mark. Oh, I don't want to know that.
Who's top 2?
So top 2, well, I'll tell you who's top 1 if you want me to. With 100%, 5 out of 5 is Michael. Joey, you're in second place with 3 out of 5. And Tonchi, you're there.
I'm 3 out of 5 as well, I reckon.
3 out of 5, mate. You're right.
Okay. Oh, it's me and Joey for the coveted second spot.
Okay, so who we... it's Tonchi, isn't it? Number 6.
Yeah.
Tonchi, around the grounds, which team plays their home games at Goodison Park? Is it A, Rangers, B, Everton, or C, Stoke City?
B, Everton.
Absolutely spot on. Joey.
Yep.
There's some. I think everybody's getting the answers right on the comment section here, Tonch. Which team play their home games at the Stadium of Light? Is it A, Sunderland, B, Middlesbrough, or C, Newcastle United?
Like the documentary, Sunderland till I die. Sunderland.
Correct, it is. Michael.
Yes, Craig.
Who plays their home games at the Volkswagen Arena? Is it A, Borussia Dortmund, B, Wolfsburg, or C, Borussia Mönchengladbach?
We lost him for a sec.
Hello?
Oh, we lost you there. Can we repeat that question, Craig?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who plays their home games at the Volkswagen Arena? Is it A, Borussia Dortmund, B, Wolfsburg, or C, Borussia Mönchengladbach?
Wolfsburg, B.
He's got it again, Tonch. He is a walking.
I shouldn't have answered that call when he rang back. Jeez.
All right, Donald Pritchard got that right. Okay, question number 7. 6, 7.
7.
Who did Melbourne Knights play in the final game of the NSL on the February the 29th, 2004? Was it A, Perth Glory, B, Marconi Stallions, or C, Sydney United?
Ooh, that's going to be a hard one. I'm going to have to resort to the thinking music.
In other words, you're looking at Google.
No, this is an easy one, because I was at that game. It was Sydney United.
You're Sydney United, it's correct. Now, do you know how many fans were at the ground, Tonch?
Fans? Me? I was there as a fan. Yeah, no, there's a whole heap of people. I think there was six or so thousand people.
Yeah, there was 8,500 fans at the Melbourne Croatia Stadium. Any idea who for an extra point, Tonch, because you're way behind, who were the two captains?
I had no idea. By that stage, I think we were too busy out on the Quarry Hill singing and drinking and trying to count the flares, how many flares, because you know what could they possibly do? Kick us out of the league?
No, we'll hand that over to Michael, because Michael knows the answer. Michael?
Oh, no, I don't know the answer.
If there's one question he doesn't know the answer, what is going on?
What? Joey, do you know the answer is?
I don't even know. I didn't watch the NSL season.
No, you're not. So actually, Andrew Marth and Mark Rudan were the two captains on that particular day.
Yeah, I remember Marth was. Yeah, I remember Marth. Yeah.
For you, how many championships did Melbourne Knights win in the old NSL? Was it A2, B3, or C4?
I'm gonna go 2.
For an extra point, Joey, do you know what years they were?
That I don't know.
Tonchi?
94, 95, 95, 96.
Oh, very good, mate. You're not getting.
Do I get a bonus point?
No.
Oh.
No points. No points.
Did I get it right?
You did, mate. Yes, well done. Mark Bosnich, Michael, scored his only goal for Australia from the penalty spot against the Solomon Islands in 1997. What was the score? A, 13-0, B, 14-0, C, 15-0.
Oh, I think it's 14-0, but I might be wrong.
Final answer, mate?
Sorry?
That's your final answer, yeah?
Yes.
14-0 is wrong.
No! What is going on?
He's got one wrong. It's 13-0. They won on that day in 1997, and Bosnich scored a 90th minute penalty to score the 13th goal.
Oh, okay.
Tonchi, question number 8.
Okay.
How many Australians have played in the EPL?
Oh,
Is it A, 51, B, 52, or C, 53?
Can I phone a friend? Maxi Santich. Maxi Santich.
Don't be waiting for those answers to come up on screen. I need an answer from you.
Oh, geez, hang on a sec. Nothing's going to help me here. Far out. Hang on a sec. Let's go. Damn it. My computer's frozen. I can't find Google. Oh, no. Have no idea. I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 51.
51 is the spot on.
Ah!
51 players have played.
That came out of my you-know-what.
Yeah, it's 51 players. I was really surprised at that when I saw that this afternoon. But
far out.
That's the correct answer.
Who got that right? Maxi Santich says he's guessing 51, and guess what? He's absolutely spot on. Brilliant work, Maxi. See, next time I'm going to phone a friend, Maxi will be the man.
Absolutely. Joey G, are you ready for your 7th? Your 8th, sorry.
Always.
All right, mate. In what year were George Cross, our main sponsors on the Football Out West show, what year were George Cross the Australian Cup winners? Was it A, 1964, B, 1965, or C, 1966?
I'm going to go 64.
64, spot on. And that was played against when they beat APA Leichhardt.
Leichhardt.
Yeah, they beat them 3-2 in front of 15,000 at Olympic Park. Archie Campbell scoring the goal in extra time.
There you go.
Can we get a progress update over here?
That's a good idea, Joey G. Great idea.
What's the score, Tonci? Because you've got them noted down there, mate.
I have no idea.
All right, we'll give you an update in a minute. Then let's get the last question, get to number 9, then we'll give an update. Okay, question number 8 for Michael.
We've lost him.
Hello? Yeah.
Oh, we got him back on. I don't know. Michael's always breaking out. Where are you, Michael?
Oh, I don't know, man. I think it's the technology. I think there's a storm coming, I think.
Okay, Michael, question 8 for you. Marquee players coming to the end of the career has been a big part of the A-League, with some noticeable names down the years. Which Australian signed for Sydney in the 2008-2009 seasons? Was it A, Alex Brosk, B, John Aloisi, or C, Nick Carl?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I can't hear the first part.
Okay, which Australian signed for Sydney? So we're talking about marquee players, okay? Which Australian signed for Sydney for the 2008-2009 season? Was it A, Alex Brosk, B, John Aloisi, or C, Nick Carley?
John Aloisi.
John Aloisi, it was spot on. He signed from the Central Coast Mariners, having
Mariners, yeah.
games and scoring 9 goals in the 2007-2008 season.
Then he went to the Melbourne Heart.
He did go to Melbourne Heart after that. You're spot
And
on.
the first Melbourne derby goal.
You're not having an extra point for that one, though.
Nah, I'll give it to
All
Tonci.
right, question number 9.
You heard the man.
Tonci.
Yes. Second last question.
Left Melbourne City to join.
Who was that? Sorry. Sorry, start.
2006.
Go from this. What was that question again, please?
Aaron Moy
Yeah.
left Melbourne City to join
Yeah.
which team in 2006? Was it A, Brighton and Hove Albion?
Yep.
B, Manchester City?
Yep.
Or C, Huddersfield Town?
Huddersfield Town.
Oh, you went to Man City first.
Yeah, it was Man City. Michael, you're spot on, mate. He left Melbourne.
We came back on loan or something. Freaking hell.
We
And
get
then
the
he went
point to Tonci.
out on loan to Huddersfield and got taken on by them on a permanent contract.
That's right. Damn
Tonci, you're falling way behind now, mate. You're doing the dishes.
it.
Joey.
Yes.
Matilda star Caitlyn Ford plays for which side in the FA Women's Super League? Is it A, Everton, B, Arsenal, or C, Chelsea?
I'm gonna go Arsenal.
Spot on, mate. You've got that correct. And the others are other Matildas that are playing in the EPL. You've got Sam Kerr playing for Chelsea, Hayley Rasso playing for Everton, Chloe Lagazzo playing for Bristol City, and then you have Steph Catley and Lydia Williams who have joined coach Joe Montemuro at Arsenal.
And also Mackenzie Arnold. She went to West Ham, right? Didn't she?
She has, yep. I've missed that one off, mate. I didn't because I couldn't pronounce it, so I left her off.
Oh, you shut up, you smarty pants.
Okay. Who we got? Michael next, isn't it?
Michael.
Yes.
Let me just check, make sure I've got the right question. Okay. Michael, the easy one for you, mate. Who scored West United's first ever goal in the A-League? I'm not even going to read the answers.
Oh, it was Berisha.
Maybe I will. Is that your final answer?
So in the A-League, you mean? Is it, or in the
No,
club?
in the A-League, mate. Yeah.
In the A-League, it was Berisha. They beat Wellington 1-0.
No, it was Panagiotis Kone. Scored against Perth
You mean-
at the GMBHBA Stadium.
Ooh.
They played Wellington away the first game, though.
Sorry?
The first game was against Wellington.
Oh, I think you've got.
Not according to Google. It's the first United goal in the A-League, according to Google. Panagiotis Kone. If I'm wrong, mate, I apologise. But let's look. I'll have a look at that in a minute. I'm sure.
No, I think you're right. I think it was Kone against Wellington.
No, there was the second game. That was the first home game. The first game was away against Wellington.
Yeah, that's right. And the first home game was at GMHBA Stadium that Berisha scored. Yeah.
No, the first game was against Wellington where Berisha scored. The first home game was at GMBA, which Kone scored.
Oh, we're going to have to go back into. All right, you're the adjudicator. What do you say?
Let's move on because none of you are going to. Anyway. Let's move on. Okay. Tonci.
What was the answer? What was the answer?
You're wrong. You're wrong, Michael. You're wrong.
Come back to you, Michael. If you're right,
You're wrong.
I'm going to give you a kiss, mate, but I'll have to come back to you. Right, Tonci.
Okay, let's
Alex
finish it off
Ferguson.
with a strong.
Alex
wet-
Ferguson
Alex Ferguson.
was manager of Manchester United for an unbelievable 26 years.
Mhm.
But who did he manage prior to taking the job at Old Trafford in
Okay.
1996?
If I get this right without going through all the multiple choice questions, can I get triple points?
Yeah, and you still come last.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll have a go. Aberdeen.
It was Aberdeen, yeah. He
Yes.
was there for
It's all right,
8
folks. I'm still a Liverpool fan. Doesn't mean I'm a Man United fan.
He was there for 8 years, and he won unbelievable. He won 3 league championships,
Yeah.
4 Scottish Cups, 1 League Cup, 1 European Cup Winners' Cup, and 1 European Super Cup in the space of 7 years before he went on to Manchester United. And if you remember, he almost got the sack. If he hadn't beaten Nottingham Forest, I think, in the semi-final of the FA Cup at the time, I think he might have not been at Manchester United for as long as he was.
There you go. Got it right. Well, finished off strongly.
What's going on? I want to win this.
You finished off on a high. You're not going to win it, Joey, but we'll give you a chance to come a very valiant second. Who was the first team to win the World Cup in 1930, defeating Argentina 4-2? Was it A, Brazil, B, Peru, C, Uruguay?
I can only go and say Brazil.
Is that your answer?
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Know that one?
Yeah, I've heard a little rumblings from young Michael over there, and what was the answer, Michael?
Uruguay.
It was Uruguay. It was. Yep, absolutely, it was. Uruguay. So, Michael, we come to the last question, and
Can Joey get a point taken off for getting that answer wrong?
he was very confident, wasn't he? He was very confident.
Brazil have been pretty successful in the World Cup, so I've got to give myself some level of credit.
I'll give you an extra point if you know the answer to this one, Joe. How many times have Brazil won the World Cup?
Ooh.
They have won it 5. Sorry, Tonci, I've got to give him a point. I did say I would.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay, Michael, you're up.
Yes.
Which team has won the World Cup on the most occasions? Is it A, Brazil, B, Germany, or C, Italy?
Brazil 5 times.
Can you name the years?
1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, and 2002.
Unbelievable.
Show off. I don't like you, Michael.
No, there's a Brazilian player now living in the western suburbs. You know that?
Yes, there is. Yes, he's
Mineiro.
going to get him on over in the next few weeks. Yeah, I think he runs the Woodley Academy, doesn't he?
Yes, that's right. Good guy, Mineiro. Yeah,
we're
he's
going to
got
get
to
him
get
on over the next
so I
week.
hate him for that.
Have a chat with us. So, after
Well,
round 1 of the Sunday night quiz, and all the answers are coming in on the screen, it's he sailed away with it. He's got 1 question wrong out of 10. The winner this week is Michael. Congratulations, Michael.
Oh, thank you.
Well
done.
You've won nothing.
well done, Michael. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thanks for having this, man. It's really good.
You had it was rigged because you got all the easy questions.
But you have all the answers, don't you? Craig forwarded to you yesterday.
I don't like Michael. I really do not like Michael.
Yeah.
No, he's a good bloke. Well done, Michael. It's
Well done,
it's
Michael.
great.
So your opportunity is to come back on next week and defend your title, Michael.
Against Craig this time, against Craig and one other lucky person. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
He's thrown us off.
He's
Joey.
gone.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Joey, great job to come on, mate. Thanks very much for joining us, buddy, and hopefully we'll catch up with you soon.
I
No
can't get
worries, you too. Stay safe during this ridiculous time.
You too, mate. Look after yourself,
Yeah.
bud.
Good on you, Joey. Thank you very, very much. Michael's come back on. Michael, we're going to ask you if you'd like to invitation to come back next week and defend your title against Craig this time and one other person.
Okay, cool. Why not?
Oh, no, yes. He's back next week.
Sorts his microphone out.
Uh-oh.
All right, all good. Well done, Michael. Thanks for coming on, mate, and we'll look forward to speaking to you
Thanks,
next week.
guys. No, thanks, guys, for having this, man. It's really good. Like we had the Optus one in the first lockdown, and now we have this one, which is good.
This one's
Helps
even
us
better.
fast.
We just haven't got a name for it, but this one's even better.
Yeah, this one's better. Now.
Absolutely. Good on you, Michael.
Right, thanks, Tonci. You never walk alone.
Ah, I like you now. And that was Michael Long. He's back in my good books, and we'll have him next week. Great little concept. If you were playing at home, hopefully you enjoyed it. Next week, I will be the Quizmaster. And Craig will be the contestant. So if you were nice to me tonight, Craig, which you weren't, I'm not going to be nice to you.
No, absolutely. Listen, it's a bit of fun on there. We see some of the comments coming through.
Great
here.
fun.
So look, it's a bit of fun on a Sunday night just to keep everybody's wits about them. You know, there's no football to sort of speak of apart from what's going on in Europe, and we can only talk about that for so long. So a bit of fun on a Sunday evening. If anybody wants to join in next week, let me know, and we'll get you on, and you have the unenviable task of playing against Michael and myself.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Thank you very much for joining us. It really was an absolute pleasure having you on. Tomorrow night, the Geelong Region Soccer Show. We've got Jesse Mays, who is the kit manager and the team manager at Brisbane Roar. He'll be joining us, and as we speak, it's halftime in the big A-League clash between Brisbane Roar and Adelaide United. The score there is 1-0 in favour of Adelaide United. We've also got the North Geelong Warriors president, John Diddlitzer, coming on board. He'll be talking purely about North Geelong. He won't be talking about his role at the PFA, the Professional Footballers Association, which he just recently finished up at. So he'll be talking about North Geelong. A lot happening down Geelong way. There is still some junior football. In fact, a lot of junior football happening. So we'll be catching up with the latest there. And then Thursday night, Craig, we hope to have someone from Western United as a very, very special guest in our A-League preview show when Melbourne Victory and Western United clash against each other in Sydney, or we think it's going to be in Sydney, on Saturday night. So look forward to
we'll hopefully getting somebody on from Melbourne Victory as well. So hopefully stay tuned. We should have two fantastic guests on the show on Thursday evening.
Yeah. And in the meantime, don't show your support. Become a member of the Football Out West Show or the Geelong Region Soccer Show. Visit the following website, www.patreon.com/Football Out West Show. For the Geelong version, it's www.patreon.com/Geelong Region Soccer Show. Craig, good night, mate. All the very best.
You too, John. Everybody stay safe. Don't forget to wear your masks, and we'll look forward to seeing you all on Thursday.
Masks or your football scarves, whatever you want. All right, good night. Take care.